He's not saying we know more than Klopp. He's not saying that we're better at Klopp. Of course, we're nowhere near as quick. There's a reason why we're YouTubers and he's a manager. You know what I mean? Like, of course, there is credential differences between us and him. We're not saying we have more knowledge. But Thomas made the claim. In fact, Thomas is here.
Come on, boy.
Let's go.
Come on,
Thomas. My G, blood. Hey, Thomas, give me a spud first. Give me a spud, G. Come on. Yes.
What's your name, bro? What's your name?
My name is Hussam.
Hussam, nice to meet you, bro.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Listen,
I'm glad your cam is on as well. So
of course, bro. Of course, I'm not trying to hide anything. Let me make my point, yeah?
Go on.
Jurgen Klopp, guys, he watches these guys train every single day, right?
That's right.
So my only point is the guy who has the best foundation to decide who's playing is Jurgen. I'm not saying he's right all the time. I'm just saying the only guy I would trust with that decision is Jurgen. Simple. That's my point.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with what we said, though? Your comment is a completely different comment to what you just said.
Nah, what's my point? James, read out my comment again, please.
He can scroll up and read it up, but essentially we're in no position to have an opinion because Klopp is just automatically right, but that's not how life works. How many times?
Yeah, let me try and correct it, Thomas. Let me know if I'm wrong, sir. So your point was Klopp knows more than us, of course, because he's a Premier League manager, and we're not a Premier League manager. Therefore, we don't necessarily have the authoritative position to say our claim on Nunes is more or has more substance than the claim of Jurgen Klopp. The point that Hussam is making, I believe, and Hussam, correct me, is what he is saying is Jurgen Klopp doesn't get 100% of the things right. So if we have to align, because what you're basically saying there, Thomas, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, G, you're saying we need to agree with 100% of Jurgen's decisions just because...
Yes, that's what he's saying.
Just because Jurgen Klopp came out and said it, because he knows more, correct? Because he does know more, he sees the players and stuff. So because he knows more and because he sees more, that means we have to agree with Adrian signing a contract extension.
Nah.
Do you agree with Adrian signing an extension?
So yeah, hold that question.
Yeah, I do, bro. I do. You know, we
won't even get onto that, Thomas. We won't even get onto that. But you now interject and respond to that.
I will. And listen, guys, it's about trusting someone. I know you said about before, bro, you can't trust someone blindly, right? That's what you said, Hussein. Is that what you said? Yes or no, bro?
Yeah. That's
what you said.
I'm sorry, I'm just baffled by your previous comment, but I'm gonna let it go because James wants me to let it go. Go on.
You can let it go. You can decide not to let it go, bro. I don't really care, to be honest. The only thing I'm saying is you don't have better football knowledge than Jurgen Klopp, bro. So if you're gonna doubt his decisions, bro, you're gonna have to do it in the right way. You're not backing the players, bro. And bro, you're allowed to say, listen, I don't feel this guy is good enough to play for my team, but you can't say factually he isn't good enough to play for our team because you don't watch him, bro. You watch 90 minutes. You watch Darwin Nunes came on in the second half of the season for about 20 minutes sometimes, bro. 20 minutes, bro. He needs backing, bro. He needs trust. He needs someone to put his arm around him. Bro, I've lived in a foreign country not being able to speak the language myself. How do you think Nunes is feeling right now, bro? He don't understand the instructions, bro. He don't understand the instructions. All I'm saying is give this guy time and he'll shine. And, bro, listen. This guy, Jurgen Klopp, is the best man for the job. And he's the best man to evolve Darwin Nunes' game. He's not a finished article, bro.
I agree with that.
Let him take his time, bro. Luis Suarez is a prime example, bro. This guy came into the Premier League. He came into our team and transformed right away. Right away, bro. That's not how all players move, bro. I'm not saying Darwin Nunes is as good as Luis Suarez. All I'm saying is you need to give this guy time, bro. He might become a good striker for us. Yes. Or you're only slandering him because of his price tag, bro. If he would have came for free, you would have been like, oh, Darwin Nunes, yes, I see his qualities. The only reason
Thomas,
why he's
that's a bit of a flawed argument. Of course, if it's free, then
James, I've got to respond to this. To this.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Thomas, first of all, your English.
By the way, Thomas, fair play, bro. Fair play. Like good conversation. Go, Hussam.
First of all, your English point is extremely weak because Carlos Tevez won a golden boot without speaking a word of English. Sergio Aguero won a golden boot.
How many years was he in the league, bro? How many years was he in the league?
That's not the point. That's not the point. You're talking about language. Don't change your argument when I rebuttal it. I hate when people do that. You have an argument. Listen, you have an argument. I rebutted it. That's it. Just hold your hands up. Say language has nothing to do with it. That's it. Because language has nothing to do with the guy. Bro, I didn't interrupt you once.
Huh?
Can I speak? I didn't interrupt you once.
Of course you can speak, but what you're saying is not right, bro.
Okay, I didn't interrupt you once. Let me speak, and then after you can rebuttal. Let me speak.
Not working out.
Let me speak. Let me speak. There's no point. The audience will just get a headache if we both speak at the same time. Let me speak.
Go.
Language has nothing to do with it. Aguero and Tevez won Golden Boots without speaking a letter of English. So let's push that bullshit.
How do you know? How do you know?
Second of all, because they didn't speak English in interviews. What do you mean? How do you know? They didn't speak English in interviews. Tevez had a translator in his interviews. Are you mad?
It's wrong. It's wrong what you're saying.
Cristiano Ronaldo, his first 3 years, didn't speak a word of English. Like you already know.
Wrong. You know, it's wrong. What you're saying is wrong,
Last I checked, speaking English has nothing to do with your finishing ability. I didn't realize you need to understand what the word shoot.
But him being able to get in the right positions, bro. It's about him learning the instructions.
So him getting in the right positions has something to do with English.
And the instructions. It's simple.
That's very funny because him getting into the right positions isn't a problem to begin with. He's missing the chances. What does that have to do with English?
You're speaking too fast, bro. Slow down, man.
What? So my English isn't understandable either?
English is good, bro, but you're speaking
so
fast.
If we were on the same team, you'd be missing the chances because you wouldn't understand my English. That's your logic, essentially.
Yeah.
And your second point, now that we've rebutted that one, your second point regarding Jurgen Klopp knows more than us. Me and James have already clarified this. But once again, this is the problem with people. They don't listen to the argument. No one has ever claimed to know more than Jurgen Klopp. But at the same time, just like any other manager, Jurgen Klopp has made many mistakes. Many mistakes. I'll give you a perfect example of a mistake. Adrian's contract, mistake. I can explain to you why, but let's not get into it. James Milner came out at the end of the season. He said Jurgen Klopp wanted me to stay. Mistake. We can keep going on and on and on with multiple. I can name you, just so you know you're not annoyed. I can name you Pep Guardiola mistakes. I can name you Alex Ferguson mistakes. Every manager in the history of the sport has made mistakes. And it's okay. All managers made mistakes. I bet that Thomas has looked at a lineup before the game started and went like, wait, why is this guy starting here? Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't work. And Thomas was right. That doesn't mean that Thomas knows more than Klopp, but Thomas has the right to an opinion. When it comes to Darwin Nunez, the reason why the price tag matters is because at Liverpool Football Club, if you realize, we don't spend a lot of money often. So when we spend money, it needs to count. So when I put 64 million on a striker, the guy needs to bang. That's why money matters. He's not a typical Moneyball 30 million pound signing. So we've rebutted all three of your points. You go ahead now.
I'll go ahead, bro. The first thing you're saying about language doesn't matter. It's cap, bro. You know this, bro. It's not right. Him not being able, go, bro, go.
Thank you, Thomas. Thomas, by the way, bro, fire debate, bro, fire debate, and I respect how strong you stand in your ground.
Just before I go, are we agreeing, James, me and you, language does matter in being able to understand instructions?
100% to understand them efficiently. But can I say one thing? I wanted to just simply say that I don't see how saying hola opposed to hello or adios opposed to goodbye translates to good finishing. And here's my second point is I saw in the first 6 months, or let's say about 4 to 5 months when Nunes played, I saw the accommodation made of Salah being pushed all the way out right. Can we agree?
Yeah.
And then Nunes was getting the majority of the chances. Can we agree?
Yeah.
So all I want to mention, my brother, is Nunes started getting the majority of the chances. Therefore, the system was working. He was getting chances, and they were good chances. The only problem was he was missing the chances. Now I go back to the English point, and to say it in a different way to Hassam, I don't know if him being able to say hello opposed to hola translates to good finishing. It just, to me, I don't see the logical argument there. Do you understand what I'm saying there, Thomas?
I understand what you're saying, bro. I'm just saying this guy's is only going to get better with time. Things is learning the language, learning his teammates.
Bobby Firmino couldn't speak English, nor could Felipe Coutinho. They couldn't speak great English.
I know, bro, but these are different kind of players. These are players that came when they were 24 years old. For example, Nunes came when he was 21.
Coutinho came when he was younger than Nunes.
Coutinho what?
Coutinho came when he was younger from Nunes. We bought him from Inter when he was a kid.
And to be honest, bro, I think Coutinho is a better talent than Nunes. And that's why I'm saying Nunes not being as good as a talent as Coutinho was, that makes it harder.
You're not responding to any of the points. I'll let you speak for half an hour. I've got no problem. But you're not responding to our points. Once again, me and James have never claimed that he isn't going to come good. We're talking about this past season. We're talking about what we've seen already. Was Nunes good enough this year? This year, was he good enough?
Good enough for what?
Do you think Nunes
let me interject if that's fine, Hussam.
Because I may have one set of expectations for him. You might have a different set of expectations for him. This is subjective, bro.
Can I ask you something then, Thomas? What's your expectations for Liverpool? Is it to win league titles or is it top 4?
My expectations for Liverpool is to win the league 4 out of 10 years.
My G. Nah, 4 out of 10 years.
Yeah, 4,
And
5.
then the other, okay, then for instance, the other 6. So let's talk about it from this. Before Nunez joined, we chased the quadruple. We were 1 point off of the Premier League, and we were 1 goal away from the Champions League. The aim, in my opinion, and let me know if you disagree, bro, is if you get a 65 to 85 million pound striker, you would like to think that is the guy who's going to take you from second to first. Is that something that we both align with?
We align with that, bro. But we need to remember we lost Mane as well.
We did lose Mane, and we decided to replace him with another outlet of Darwin Nunes. And Darwin Nunes, when he came in, he did not do well enough. And until we got Gakpo and Nunes was removed as the main outlet, that is when we significantly improved.
For me, I see more the Luis Diaz signing as a kind of Mane replacement.
Fair dues.
I see the Nunes signing as being... Sorry. I see the Nunes signing being a bit more of like a unpredictable kind of signing in terms of if we bring in Nunes, we can play multiple different ways instead of just playing this football where we get it out wide and then have these inside forward. With Nunes, we have the ability and we have he has the presence, bro, to stand in the box, win headers, and therefore we can play in a different way with Nunes in our team.
So do you think going forward he'd be good off the bench?
Of course, bro. I was there at Liverpool-Tottenham 4-3 when he came off the bench and made an impact, bro, in April. He's a good player off the bench.
And is it good enough to spend 65 million for a bench player?
He's not a
when
bench
you're
player.
limited financially.
Bro,
Sorry, carry on.
Don't twist up my words. You said, is he...
Nah, I'm not, G. I'm asking you a very clear question, Thomas. I'm not twisting up anyway.
He's good enough to be on the bench, but he's also good enough to be the best player in that front line within 2 years.
Okay. That's where I struggle to agree.
64 million on a player is going to be good 2 years from now?
Boys, this is opinions. None of us are right.
So you expect Szoboszlai to be good 2 years from now?
I expect Szoboszlai to be good first game of the season, bro.
But why? He costs less than Nunez.
Because what?
He costs less than Nunez.
But bro, you don't judge players how good they are and how much we spend on them. Then you would have to say, oh, we only signed Robertson for 4 million.
But why are your expectations different for Nunez, though? That's what I don't get.
My expectations are different.
If I was asking you 12th of July, 2022, would you have said all this? You wouldn't have said all this. You would have said Nunez and Haaland was a conversation. 100%.
I never said that.
100% you would have said that.
How can you say 100%, bro? You didn't even know me 1 hour ago, bro.
Yeah, because I know that this wasn't your expectation. Your expectation isn't going to be Nunez to be a bench player for 64 million. Like, come on, let's be real here.
Of course it's not. Of course it's not, bro. But
we didn't even have Gakpo at the time, remember? We didn't even have Gakpo.
Broski, this is the way I look at it, it's a long-term project, right?
And it became a project because he was shit on the pitch. That's reality.
Broski, I'll let you talk. Let me talk, yeah? This guy is a long-term project. This guy is not a player who's going to come in straight away. And I get your point. We spend a lot of money on him. He should technically be able to go in straight away. The only thing I'm saying is, with time, with more training with Klopp and Pep Linders, this guy's going to develop his abilities, bro, and he's going to get even more ruthless. He's got the pace, he's got the power, he's got the strength, he makes good runs, and he has the presence to be a good striker. The two things he lacks for me is sharpness, and he needs to switch on in certain moments. For example, not getting a red card, which will cost us the next 3 games. So there are some criteria you have to fulfill to be a Liverpool player. And this guy fulfills minimum 5 out of 7 for me. But again, this is subjective.
Thomas, we're going to continue this dead quick. We're going to continue. I just need to let Hussam go because he's going to go live on his channel. Guys, go subscribe to his channel, okay? It's in the title.
Nice to meet you, bro. It's okay to have different opinions sometimes. At the end of the day, we support the same club. So let's get...
No, 100%. I've got no problem with you having a different opinion. The only problem I have is you saying your opinion doesn't matter because you're not a Premier League manager. That's what I have a problem with.
And bro, that's not what I meant by my point. Okay?
I hear you, but that was how it's worded, But it is what it is. Listen, I've got to go speak about Chelsea anyway now for an hour. I'm going to ask James to get Thomas back on for a whole show so you can actually have this debate.
Thomas, I'd love to get you back on, mate. I think you're boss, lads. I do. I love the passion coming from you.
Okay, we'll speak. And it's good he has his cam on as well, James, so he's not hiding behind the picture.
He can be the cuppeteers over here, you know what I mean?
Come on.
Yeah, see you guys, man. See you. Big up, James, man.
Big up you, Sam. Nah, see you later, bro. Yeah, Thomas, carry on your point, because I know you were in the middle of making one.
I'm just saying, this guy's got, bro, he's got so many good things. I'm gonna just read some. Before I came on, I wrote a list on what impresses me when I'm watching Darwin Nunes.
Good. I like the preparation.
Right, bro. This guy, he makes good runs. I'm not saying exceptional runs, but he makes good runs. Direct running.
He's good running in behind for sure.
Running in behind, and he's got this kind of tunnel vision where he just goes, bro. He goes, and everything's that's beside him, bro. He smashes, bro. Get out of the way. He's got a great presence, bro. Great build. He's tall. He's quick, bro. He's got a good presence, bro. Just to say, his peak years is ahead of him.
Okay.
Right. So what I'm saying by that is, right now he may not look like a top player, but his best years are to come, bro. Ideally, we want to see the best of Darwin Nunes in 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah.
And that's not to say he can't be better right now than what he is. I'm just saying the best of him will come in the next couple of years. Bro, I'm 100% sure, bro. This guy's going to come gold for us, bro.
Will the best version of Darwin Nunes be good enough to win us league titles, which, in my opinion, was the purpose of bringing him in?
I think it does, bro. I think it does, and I think it's hard to judge when we haven't seen the best version of him, bro.
But that's exactly what I was going off. So the thing is, I didn't just judge him off of his first few games. I was against the Nunes signing before he joined. So it's not a fact he joined and I thought, oh, I could be controversial here. This was when he was linked with United. When he was linked with United, I'd say I don't mind him going there because I don't think he's that good. And when he played against us, there was a system that was very much adherent to his style of play. So when I talk about Nunes, here's the point I say: he was never good enough to win us a league title. Might be good enough to get us top 4. What proves this is that the finishing, which if you listen to Arsene Wenger, finishing and technical ability only goes so much better after the age of 16. It's just facts, bro. It's just one of those things. I'm not saying you can't score more goals, but I saw Nunes getting chances last season. A lack of chances weren't the problem. Adhering to Nunes weren't the problem. We moved Salah all the way on the touchlines, literally to try and get Nunes more chances, and he missed. When we improved, we were 11th when we were using Nunes quite regularly, and like you said, it even cost us because he got sent off at times. When Gakpo came in, the stylistic changes made to the system. Nunes was then removed out the team when Jota and Diaz came back, and that was when the game started to be won. So as much as we're guessing if he's good enough in a couple of years, right? But one thing I knew right now is that he weren't good enough for last season. And my ambition, which I mentioned to you before, was chasing the quadruple, missing the league from 1 point to then now how do we get to first? Nunes was never this player. Gakpo could have been that player. Nunes was never that player. I don't even think Gakpo was. Gakpo might have kept us in the title race, or he might have kept us in the top 4 conversations. Nunes just weren't that guy for me. So when I say sit here about Nunes, I'm going off and thinking of the memories of fans comparing him to Haaland. I'm going off the memories when people like you say it's because of his language, which is why he's missing sitters. And that's where I sit there and I go, okay, can't agree with this for this reason.
And bro, honestly, bro, like the points you're making, they're very well articulated. They make sense, bro, and it's a good point. I'm not saying the language is the only reason for him not succeeding. I'm just saying I play football myself, bro. I play in the 3rd tier in Denmark. It's not a big level, but it's still a decent.
That's sick, that though, lad. Fair play.
When you don't understand the instructions the manager is telling you and he's not clear about the way he's articulating himself, it's very difficult to go out there and kind of live up to what he expects.
What position do you play?
I play as like a 10 left wing.
Yeah. Do you ever like? Are you ever an outlet for your team? Like, do they ever look at you for goals? For instance,
they do, bro. I'm the set piece taker, man. What do you mean?
Jeez, my guy. So, do you know if you was not necessarily accurate on your set piece taking, and you were brought in to be a set piece taker, but you were getting the set pieces, you were getting the opportunities to take the corners, to take the free kicks, to get the crosses into the box, to find the striker running in behind, because you said you were a number 10 as well. I raised this. If you can do those things and you were getting the opportunity to do those things, but you weren't doing them well, can I not question you?
Of course you can question me, bro. Of course
the same way that I've seen Darwin Nunes get loads of chances.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's important to question him because he was doing this at Benfica, even though we got more goals.
Yeah. Yeah, you can, bro. And actually, bro, you rightfully shut me up on that one.
Nah, Thomas, bro, you're too sick, man. Can I get a knuckle touch?